Viewers to a press conference that's being held here in Doha by Qatar's Foreign Minister and Prime Minister.
It is with pleasure that the state of Qatar, Egypt and the United States announce the success of the joint mediation as the parties to conflict in Gaza Strip has reached a deal on the swap of prisoners and captives in order to establish a ceasefire, a permanent ceasefire, in addition to the delivery of intense relief aid into our brothers in Gaza Strip. Here, at the outset, I would like to extend appreciation to our partners in Egypt, the United States, namely the U.S.-elect envoy, Mr. Steve Witkoff, and the Middle East and Northeast coordinator, in Mr. Brett McGurk, for their extensive effort that have yielded in a breakthrough in these negotiations reaching up to this deal. And all the thanks to the work team in Egypt, His Excellency Minister Hassan Rashad, who contributed and worked closely in partnership with their Qatari counterparts in order to reach this deal. As both the parties to conflict and both the parties in negotiation have reached an agreement, all the implementation measures have been ironed out tonight. And after this, the internal measures will be taken within the Israeli government, following which the deal will come into effect on Sunday, January 19th. The 0 hour will be announced at a later stage. As to the details of the deal, the first phase, which extends over 42 days, will see a ceasefire and the withdrawal of the Israeli forces away from the populated area to a station on the borderline or around Gaza Strip, and the prisoners and captives will be swapped. Also, the bodies and remnants of the deceased will be swapped, and the displaced will allow return, and also the exit of the wounded and the patients. Humanitarian aid will be intensely delivered at a large scale all across Gaza Strip. The hospitals and health centers, bakeries, civil defense centers will be rehabilitated. Also, all the facilities required for the displaced to return home, namely those who have the first phase, Hamas will release 33 Israeli captives, including women and soldiers and old-aged, also in return for certain number of Palestinian detainees behind Israeli bars. The details of the second and third phase will be agreed upon as the first phase comes into implementation. The State of Qatar reiterates that both the parties should commit totally and completely to the implementation of all the three phases in order to steer away from further bloodshed, to steer the region from further exacerbation, and in order to reach a lasting peace. The State of Qatar will continue to work jointly with Egypt and the United States in order to ensure and guarantee the implementation of this deal by both the parties, and they honor their obligations throughout all the phases. We look forward that all regional and global efforts be dovetailed in order to continue to deliver the deliver the relief aid and allow the displaced civilians in Gaza to return home. Qatar will spare no effort supporting the ravaged families and do all what is necessary to alleviate the plight of the Palestinian people. Since October 8th, we have not spared as we continue to follow up and closely monitor, namely under the leadership of His Royal Highness the Emir of Qatar, in order and work day and night in order to reach this moment. As we succeeded in a permanent truce in November last, where a number of Israeli captives and Palestinian detainees were swapped, we continue to work closely, hoping to reach an end to the bloodshed, bring the war to an end, restore hope into the region, and bring peace, stability, and security to the region, and better future to the coming generations. Meetings continued with both the parties to conflict, and today we have reached this momentous moment. It is yet the beginning, and the responsibility is placed on both the shoulders, supported by the international community in order to reach the safe shore. This where all our efforts will be centered in the coming phase. I would like to extend thanks and appreciation to all our regional and global partners who have extended all support in these efforts from day one until this momentous point where we reach the deal. In conclusion, I would like to mention to our brothers in Gaza Strip that the State of Qatar will continue to provide all necessary support to the Palestinian people. This is under the prudent directives handed down by His Royal Highness the Emir of Qatar, closely monitored, followed up with, and overseen by the Qatari officials. By the grace of God Almighty, we have reached this point, and we hope that this will be the end of a dark chapter of war. We appeal to both the parties to commit and honor all the terms and conditions of the deal and continue with the implementation of all the measures as detailed in the agreement. The State of Qatar will continue to work jointly with their partners in order to ensure the deal is fully implemented, permanent stability is restored in Gaza Strip, and we will not abandon our brothers in Gaza Strip.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.